When a man intervenes in your relationship with God, in your covenant with God, they don't understand what that covenant means to you and how much of an impact they will have on your situation in your life going forward if you do not respect this woman's wishes. The thing about dealing with men is that if you allow one thing to happen, another thing will happen, and then another thing will happen.
Usher, what's that?
The camera.
Usher, is that you?
Yeah, is that you right there?
Punch.
Okay, move.
Ouch!
Move.
Don't fight you.
I'm not fighting you. Go.
Fighting you.
So, what I explained is that when you have a covenant with another person or your other significant other, when you have a covenant with God, what this means is that you have a relationship with God. And this relationship is just as a relationship with any man in a marriage. It's just like a marriage, you know? Do you know what it is, though, actually? Making a covenant with God until it's time for marriage. And then that's when your relationship with God, it's like God is handing you over now to this man. And now this man can be married to you. God, as your father, is handing you over to that significant other. And then you will become internal. You will become merged together, entwined. You will be, it's a God-given marriage. It's a God-given marriage, you know? God is giving you over to your husband, to this man. And then you become internal. That's when the two souls become one. So until then, you have to respect this woman's wishes. You have to respect this woman's wishes. And if you don't, there are consequences. You know? Just like, let's give you an example. If a guy and this woman is planning on being together, well, this woman and this guy is married. And this man goes out and he cheats. He kisses this girl. And you know what's in the back of that person's mind, you know, I already kissed you. I already cheated, so you might as well go all the way. And this man went all the way with her. And he cheated on his wife. And he went back home. And what happens is now his wife can't even look at him the same. You know, she already senses something is wrong. And that's the thing about a lot of relationships. They already feel like something is wrong. Like, that's the thing about having significant others. If I sense something is wrong about you, I sense something is off about you, it's going to make me move different. You don't have to actually speak to this person and tell this person, oh yeah, I cheated on you. Because the fact that you've been with me for years, or we've been together for a long time or for a while, to the point we're married, we've been together, I know your body. So when you show up and I get this notion, even if you don't show up, that's how life works. You know, you don't even have to show up to know, for your significant other to know that something has detached. There's all of a sudden a sense of void. You know, it's like you're this full cup. You and your significant other has had this cup. You got your cup, he got his cup. You know, y'all been pouring into each other's cup for the longest. But then all of a sudden, just like a bank account, you know, money disappearing out of a bank account, even somehow this cup is becoming empty. And you're just like, hold on. He's not taking from my cup right now. He's not, you know, we've been pouring into each other's cup. How is your cup getting empty faster than mine? What's going on? Why is it less water each and every day? And I'm not pouring into your cup yet. I mean, I'm not taking from your cup. Something's going on. That sense of void is, you know, that emptiness, that water in that cup is evaporating slowly and slowly and slowly. There's nothing being acted upon here, but somehow that feeling is going away. Why? Because this man has allowed another woman, or this woman has allowed another man to take from his cup. So that kiss, that one little kiss or something, is taking away from his cup. Meanwhile, y'all are still together. So while that's being taken from your cup, depending on if God is in your life, now God is going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to take from your cup. And this person is with God. You know, now I'm going to stand over here with God, and I'm going to trust the situation. And just for it to be fair, a fair game, you know, God is taking from this person's cup, while this woman that you cheated with is taken from your cup. Because how can we replenish anything if you allow somebody to take from your cup? You know, everything that we built, this person over here is reaping. Everything that we've been pouring together into each other, this person over here is reaping from what we have and what we had and what we are building. It's slowly being taken like a thief to our treasure. Slowly being taken without any, without much effort, because you already gave it away. And this is how your covenant with God is. You have to be faithful. You have to be true. You have to be loyal. And with whoever comes into your life, they have to respect your decision. And they have to respect this covenant between you and God until God is ready to give you away. Because if that time doesn't come, guess what? And you have already given yourself away, or somebody, you have already given yourself away to somebody without, everything now that you and God has built, that is slowly being taken away from, by whoever you gave it to. And now your cup is becoming empty. What you and God had together now is being emptied. It's being poured out slowly and surely. Whatever interference there was between you and another person, that person is reaping what's in your cup, you and God's cup. And this is God's hand, like, well, here you go. What can we do now? This person is just, we tried. You failed. And this is what happens. It wasn't time. And now, just like that, this loyal significant other and the other significant other that was betrayed, it's like the broken towers. It's all gone. It's all being gone. It's going. So it's just like you can't stop what's already been done. It's already being taken away, And all you can do is sit with what you have done. Sit with what's been done and allow this to happen. What can you do now? It's a beautiful commitment. That's all I gotta say. It's a beautiful commitment. It's a commitment that makes life worth it. It's a wonderful discovery in the end, and it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. You just gotta stay committed. And be careful with the company you keep. So yeah, with that being said, that's all I want to get on here and share, and I will talk to y'all next time. But on the other hand, it's all about what God knows beyond your being here on this earth, because God knows more than you know. So maybe, that's what I'm saying, it can be a curse and it can be a blessing, because maybe God knew something about your covenant that you didn't know. So God allowed this man or this woman to intervene for this very reason, for a purpose and for a plan. So whatever was done, let that moment be done. And from this point forward, you move on and you continue being faithful and being loyal. Just maybe. That's that but, depending on your situation. Whatever that situation was, God knows. God knows. Just have faith and keep going on and keep walking and keep being strong and keep your faith. Keep your promise. Stay true, stay loyal, and you will reap all the benefits. You will reap the rewards. You will reap what's been sown. And eventually, you will make it to your destination. You will make it to your destination. God knows what you want. God knows your destiny. God knows your fate. God knows the end. You don't. That's why the world is meant to be what it is. It's clouded your judgment for a reason. It's here as a distraction. You don't know what's meant for you. You don't know the end. There's actually this verse that I want to speak on. Hold on. In this we can plainly discern that after a people has been once enlightened by the Spirit of God and have had great knowledge of things pertaining to righteousness, and then have fallen away into sin and transgression, they became more hardened, and this their state became worse than though they had never known these things. When we are knowing and we become aware and we become enlightened, it's like our world makes sense. There was this time when I was going through my episodes and I was having visions of the past in the present moment. And I was being given more wisdom. I was becoming more wise. And I seen, so therefore I knew more. I seen more. We can be in the living room having the same experience. We was actually in the dining room, we was playing cards. We was playing Skipple. Me and my family, we had like little setting events where we played games around the holidays up until the holiday, the original holiday, because it's exciting, it's holidays coming. So we would sit at that dining room table and we will all be sitting there but having a different experience, sitting there with different eyes. I had different eyes. I seen something happening that they didn't see, but we were all sitting there. And I didn't express myself. I didn't speak out and say, oh yeah, no, I'm just sitting there and I'm making sense of it in my own mind, silently, quietly. And I'm just seeing it happen while they're still there, but they're having a different experience than I am. When you become wise and you become knowing, it's like Adam, it's like Eve biting that apple. Now you have that type of knowledge to where you can see more, know more. And a lot of people can't handle this knowledge. They can't handle it. They don't know what's going on. If all the world knew this knowledge, they would be out of whack. They would be chaos. They would be running everywhere. They wouldn't know what to do. They would be up all night without rest. They would be running out in the streets. Oh yeah, we're going to die. They'll be crazy, considered psycho. They'll be in psych wards. They'll be put away. They'll be, it'll be so much. It'll be tested. They'll be tested, experimented on. There'll be this knowledge. Where are you getting this knowledge? People will become curious. They will say they're being over dramatic. They'll become a liar. They'll become a mockery. They'll become a liability. So in order for you to be saved from knowing a little bit too much, God has to distract you from yourself. Because how would your mind take such information that will unwind every teaching that has been taught? Unravel all of those scrolls from those books in those schools. It's like all of those scrolls becoming unscrolled, but new information is being processed, is being written in the midst of all of that knowledge of those academics. Wisdom in the midst of knowledge. Your life of past, present, future, and now more knowledge is just all pouring in. God is saving you from knowing what can happen because you're not ready. And when you're not ready, you need distracted. You need distracted. And it's only to save you. It's only to help you, not hurt you. And God does this in God's own way. And this is something that you won't understand. Some of your experiences you won't understand, but God knows, and that's why they happen. And sometimes we doubt and we guilt trip about what happened to us that we had no control over the situation of. And maybe we did have a little bit of control. And that's when we could have made the right decision. But as God's child, God knows what you're going to do in that next moment. God knows what you're going to do. So you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to fear. Don't be concerned. What is in your control is in your control. And what's not in your control is not in your control. God knows that you have that seed of discernment planted in you. But in the midst of that seed of discernment, you also have Satan's seed as well. And with this, God knows. God knows the next moment before it happened. God knows Adam and Eve was going to do what they did and get kicked out that garden. God knows. So since God knows, you just have to be obedient. Do what you have to do. Do what you can. And anything that's out of your control, don't worry about it. So, because they knew more than they were supposed to, their state, they became more hardened. Because since I know the truth, and that's the thing about knowing the truth, if you have this person that you've been with for a long time, but then all of a sudden you get this knowledge you get this wisdom about this person, and you're like, hold up. Not really about the person, but about the situation. You're like, okay, this relationship has been going on for a long time, but all of a sudden I've been I've came to the awareness that this relationship doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. So I'm going to break up with this person. God is saving you from breaking up with that person. That's basically what it is. So they're becoming hardened in their heart. I don't feel the same way about this person because of the wisdom that I just received. So since I received this wisdom about this person, I can't be with you and I can't look at you the same way. So therefore, they became hardened in their hearts. And their state becomes worse than though they had never known those things. They became worse. Now they started cheating. Now they started doing whatever they wanted to. Now they seen this person and, through God's eyes or through angels' eyes. And now they despise this person. I used to love you, but now I hate you because now I see you in true colors. I see your true colors and I can't be with you the same way that I was when I just had the eyes of a regular human being. As if my eyes were closed. When my eyes were closed. So yes, their state became worse than though they had never known these things at all. These things. They became worse than they never knew these things. As though they never knew these things. So when they didn't know these things, they were already bad. So when they know these things, they're actually worse than when they didn't know them. That's horrible. And that's what God is saving you from. So, like I said, everything happens for a reason. That is my faith, y'all. That's my faith. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And that's just what you have to lean on. You have to lean on everything happens for a reason. Because you won't understand everything. You won't know everything. Everything won't be, easy to interpret. Even the most smartest people with the most highest IQs out here are the dumbest when it comes to wisdom. When it comes to a certain understanding of what category you're in. You can be smart in this area and this person is smart in this area. But to them, you're dumb. And to them, you're dumb because y'all don't have the same understanding. They can't comprehend each other because they're not on the same level as each other. They're on different levels, different locations, same situation, but different understanding. Different mind, different eyes, different experience. So yeah, with that being said, I just wanted to speak on that. And y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. I hope this word reaches you and, helps you through whatever you're going through. And with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, be notified, share at your own free will to show you care. Bye.